The behind-the-scenes script rumors for next month just landed, and what they are allegedly planning for Alexis and her supposedly deceased daughter is downright criminal. If you ask me, the writers are preparing to drop a bombshell that will completely wreak devastation on everything we thought we knew about this family, and it is going to leave the entire town reeling in absolute shock. Right now, the landscape of our beloved town is nothing short of a chaotic, heartbreaking mess. We have all been sitting here, watching the tears flow, as the residents mourn the tragic and sudden loss of Sam. Dante is walking around like a ghost of his former self, struggling to hold his family together. Danny and Scout are trying to navigate a world without their fierce, loving mother. And then there is Alexis. We have watched Alexis completely unravel, shedding tears that felt so incredibly real and raw. The town has collectively accepted that Sam is gone forever, buried and laid to rest. Everyone has been trying to pick up the pieces and move forward, believing that the chapter on Kelly's iconic character has been permanently closed. We thought we had seen the last of her, and the grief has been a heavy blanket over the entire canvas. However, in the soap world, a closed casket rarely means a closed book. Recently, the head writers dropped a massive, jaw-dropping twist of a hint in an interview. They teased that the prestigious law firm, run by the formidable duo of Diane and Alexis, is about to hire a mysterious new employee. Now, ladies, think about this for a second. Why on earth would the showrunners be so incredibly secretive about a simple legal assistant or a junior partner? If it were just a random new character or a fresh law school graduate, they would simply announce the casting. The fact that the identity of this new hire is being guarded like a state secret tells me that this is no ordinary employee. This is a deliberate, calculated move to reintroduce someone massive back onto the canvas. This brings us to the swirling, unstoppable rumors that Kelly is actually gearing up for a spectacular return to the screen. I know it sounds completely impossible, but let us look at the facts. How many times have we seen a beloved character perish, only to walk back into town months or years later? Jason, Sonny, Anna, the list of miraculous resurrections is endless. The theory that is setting the internet on fire right now is that Sam is the mystery hire at the law firm. Yes, you heard me right. The very same woman the entire town is currently mourning. The writers are laying the groundwork for a return that will shake the foundation of the show. Just think about the sheer magnitude of this possibility. Kelly has been the heart and soul of this series for decades, and her sudden departure left a gaping hole that fans have been begging to see filled. If the writers are truly listening to the audience, bringing her back in this incredibly sneaky, undercover way is the ultimate payoff. But that's not even the craziest part. What if I told you that Alexis has secretly known her daughter was alive this entire time? Imagine the sheer, unadulterated betrayal. The theory suggests that after Sam's near-death experience, Alexis somehow discovered her daughter had survived. Instead of shouting it from the rooftops and bringing her home to Dante and the kids, Alexis made the agonizing, shocking decision to hide her. We are talking about Alexis renting out a secure, hidden facility, hiring private, off-the-books medical professionals, and keeping Sam locked away in a secret room while the rest of the world wept at her grave. Alexis would have had to look Dante straight in the eye, watch her grandchildren cry, and lie through her teeth every single day. But that's not even the craziest part. Why would a loving mother do something so incredibly cruel? Well, guys, what if Sam woke up from that terrifying ordeal with absolutely no memory of who she is? Severe amnesia is a classic soap trope, and it fits perfectly here. If Sam's brain trauma wiped away her memories of Dante, her children, and her entire life, Alexis might have panicked. She might have decided that thrusting a completely blank, traumatized Sam back into the chaotic world of mobsters and private investigations would destroy her. Alexis could have chosen to keep her hidden to protect her fragile mental state, waiting patiently until Sam's memories naturally resurfaced before revealing the truth to the world. But that's not even the craziest part. There is another, even more sinister possibility. What if Sam did not lose her memory, but instead, she stumbled upon a long-buried secret or a deadly threat that put a massive target on her back? Sam has spent her entire life tangled up with spies, the mob, and dangerous criminals. If a lethal enemy was hunting her down, faking her death might have been the only way to ensure she survived. Alexis, utilizing her brilliant legal mind and her deep connections to the dark underbelly of the city, might have orchestrated the ultimate cover-up. She let the town mourn so that Sam's enemies would back off, believing they had won. Alexis has always been a fierce mama bear, and she would absolutely burn the world down to keep her cub safe. But that's not even the craziest part. Now that the dust has settled, and whatever threat was looming over Sam has potentially been neutralized, Alexis is ready to bring her daughter back into the light. But she cannot just let Sam go back to her dangerous, adrenaline-fueled life as a private investigator. That life is exactly what got her into this mess in the first place. So, what is the ultimate solution? Alexis brings Sam into the law firm as their new, mysterious employee. By giving Sam a desk job, surrounded by legal briefs and court dockets, Alexis can keep her daughter safely tucked away under her watchful, overprotective eye. It is the perfect cover. Sam gets to reintegrate into society, and Alexis gets to monitor her every single move, ensuring she never puts herself in the line of fire ever again. If you ask me, this storyline would be an absolute masterclass in character psychology for Alexis. We have watched Alexis struggle with her demons, her addictions, and her disastrous choices in men, but her one redeeming quality has always been her fierce, almost suffocating love for her daughters. Whether it is Christina, Molly, or Sam, Alexis constantly crosses ethical and legal boundaries to protect them. Hiding Sam's survival from the world would be her most controversial, polarizing decision to date. The sheer weight of that guilt, carrying that massive secret while watching her grandchildren suffer, would eat her alive. Yet, in her twisted motherly logic, she would justify every single lie if it meant her firstborn child was safe and breathing. Can you even begin to imagine the absolute wreckage this will cause when the truth finally comes out? Dante is a good, honest detective who has poured his heart and soul into grieving for the woman he planned to spend the rest of his life with. When he discovers that Alexis, a woman he respects and treats like family, has been hoarding this secret, his reaction will be explosive. The betrayal will cut so deep that I honestly do not know if Dante and Alexis could ever be in the same room again. Dante will have to look back at every single moment he sat with Alexis, crying over Sam's grave, and realize it was all a fabricated lie. The psychological damage inflicted on him could push him over the edge, potentially ruining his career as a detective and sending him into a dark, downward spiral. And we cannot ignore the impact on the children. Danny is already a rebellious teenager trying to find his way, and Scout is just a little girl who needs her mother. To learn that their grandmother allowed them to believe their mother was dead, that is the kind of deep-rooted, generational trauma that will take years to unpack. The fallout will wreak devastation on the entire family dynamic. And we cannot forget about the fabulous Diane in all of this. Did Diane know? Is the best legal mind in town complicit in faking a death and hiding a citizen? If Diane is in on this scheme to hire Sam at the law firm, she is risking her entire career, her license to practice law, and her freedom. But we all know Diane is fiercely loyal to Alexis. If Alexis came to her in the dead of night, begging for help to save Sam's life, Diane would absolutely draft up the fake documents, create a new alias, and help her best friend pull off the impossible. The dynamic between these two women trying to hide Sam in plain sight at their law firm would be pure, unadulterated soap opera gold, filled with near misses and constant anxiety. But how will Sam function in this new role? Will she be wearing a disguise, using a fake name, or will Alexis simply keep her in the back offices, away from prying eyes? If Sam is suffering from amnesia, she might genuinely believe she is just a brilliant paralegal named Jane who works for Alexis. Imagine the heartbreaking scenes where Dante walks into the law firm to consult on a police case, and he walks right past the love of his life, not recognizing her, or worse, she does not recognize him. The dramatic irony would have us all screaming at our television screens. It is the perfect recipe for a slow burn, agonizing reunion that will keep the fans glued to their seats for months on end. We could see Sam slowly starting to experience terrifying flashbacks, flashes of Jason, flashes of Dante, flashes of her children every time she looks at a certain file or hears a specific voice. The psychological journey of Sam fighting to break through the mental barriers that Alexis has carefully monitored would be an acting tour de force for Kelly. We would be on the edge of our seats, waiting for that one pivotal moment where her eyes widen and she finally remembers everything. Ladies, The climax of this entire storyline is staring us right in the face, and it is a harsh, unforgiving truth. The jaw-dropping twist here is not just that Sam is alive. The real shocker is that the people who claim to love us the most are capable of the most profound betrayals. Alexis has played God with her daughter's life, manipulating the grief of an entire town to serve her own desperate need to protect her child. When this long-buried secret inevitably explodes, it will not be a joyous family reunion. It will be a catastrophic reckoning. Alexis will have to answer for the tears, the pain, and the stolen time. She might have saved Sam's life, but she may have permanently destroyed her relationship with her daughter and her family in the process. So, as we look toward next week's episodes, keep your eyes glued to the doors of the law firm. The stage is perfectly set. Alexis is nervously pacing the floor. Diane is reviewing a heavily redacted employment contract, and the handle on the front door slowly begins to turn. A silhouette steps into the dimly lit reception area, carrying a briefcase and a secret that will change our beloved town forever. Is it Sam, ready to reclaim her life, or is it a completely new persona, completely unaware of her tragic past? We will just have to wait and see, but one thing is for certain. The storm is coming, and no one is ready for it. Until next time, stay safe and keep watching.